We back in the house. Yes, you already know what it is. It's your boy Fellagood, and welcome to the Fellagood Podcast. Yeah, yes sir. Yarrow, Mr. Yarrow himself, the original Mr. Yarrow. Know that? Yeah. Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode. Episode 29. Where do we go from here? That's a good question. We're right in the beginning of 21. Where do we go from here? Before we get into any of that, Fellagood Podcast is brought to you by Goodfellas LLC and Goodfellas Gaming. And also check out the Podcast Clubhouse. I've created my own clubhouse for all podcasts and all people who have, not just podcasts, but people who have their own business, no matter what it is, your own hair shop, shirt shop, whatever, hats, whatever you're doing. You can go on the Podcast Clubhouse and submit your entry for entry. And there's only one rule. I have one rule for the Podcast Clubhouse, and that is if you're accepted, if you're going to put your business in there, make sure you take someone else's out and share it on your page. And I will be checking. I will be going through checking, and if you're in violation, I'll kick you from the club. The purpose of the Podcast Clubhouse is to just give people an opportunity, a platform, another space to share and promote themselves and also help others. And so if everybody follows the rules, everybody will be helping everybody. Every new member will at least share one person's thing and have their things in. But that it doesn't stop there, because if every week or whatever you drop new content, you put it in there, you take out something and share it. It's as simple as that. The Podcast Clubhouse. Check that out on Facebook. Yes, sir. It's a good day. It's a good day today. A beautiful day. It's a little cold today. All the shows here at Fellagood Podcast is pre-recorded, and so even though today is cold, when you hear it, it might be warm. And I hope that this message finds you in peace. With that being said, let's go. So, where do we go from here? Well, what do we got? What do we got on the plate today? There's a lot on the plate today. But, I was putting this outline together. I just really wanted to highlight things that I felt that were very important, like I always do. So we're going to start with Bill Gates, okay? Excuse me. We're going to start with Bill Gates. And I'm going to call him, most people only know Bill Gates for inventing a computer. He invented the first Mac or whatever. Computer guy, And, that's how he did come into the game, being known. He developed software. He made computers and artificial intelligence, if you will, right? And even with him being known for that over the years, I promise you right now, he's not known for any invention. That's not what he's known for. How he's been brought on how he's come on my radar, why he's on the Fellagood Podcast radar, is because I know him and his dealings in Africa. I have become aware to him from his dealings in Africa, his experimentations in Africa, and just flat out, he's really into health and medicine and stuff now. Over the last couple of years, especially last year, 20, he was pushing hard for the vaccines. He was like one of the number one spokesmen for vaccines before Trump canceled the contract to fuck with him or WHO. Now, WHO, if you don't know who WHO is, I've talked about WHO a lot. WHO is the World Health Organization. who during Trump's presidency cut ties with him. Then that organization as well. Now, who is funded by multiple people, I'm sure, but one known and noted is Bill Gates. So you have to ask yourself, why is Bill Gates, especially last year 20, how did he become the forefront poster board man for the vaccine? And why did his voice become so heard and prevalent when it came to the vaccine? Well, again, like I told you, he came on my radar from what I've researched and found out his works in Africa. Now, you can research his works yourself in Africa. What you'll find on the surface is just that, research. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll find that the mistrials of his experimentations with these vaccines that they, were trying to help cure these different things in Africa, different diseases, you'll find that there were a lot of mistrials and a lot of deaths. But see, these things are kept quiet, of course, because we can't let the real world know what he's doing. So it would appear he was over there doing a good thing, trying to help out poor, sick black Africans, correct? But more or less, I found that he was using Africa as like a playpen or an experimental lab to work out these different things, because when you're talking about medicine, it's all trial and error. It's all trial and error. You need subjects to test things on. When we got COVID is a hybrid of some, even now, right now, today, is a shape-shifting virus, correct? It's not the same as it was in December 19. And, of course, when we got January 20, it was different from what it was in 19, late, okay? So you got this, new strand of the shape-shifting virus, which, could be a concoction of SARS, AIDS, cancer, whatever, Ebola. All these things that they made up can be a concoction, and that's what they're calling COVID, which is mutating to something else. We won't even call it COVID. It's pretty soon. But how does Bill Gates, the computer maker, become Bill Gates, the medicine maker, the vaccine maker, the poster boy for vaccines? You have to ask yourself that question. Because that's what I'm doing here. I'm asking you, but I'm also asking myself that question. And the answer I would have to come up with, there's something afoot. There's something afoot. There's something not right, right? Because it just don't make sense to me. Now, let's talk about WHO a little bit more. So the World Health Organization was working with Bill Gates earlier on when he was in Africa, and his wife also in Africa. They're both, working on groundbreaking medicines and vaccines for people. Right? WHO is more than willing to help with the vaccines that we're getting now. You got all these different names, Pfizer, Tizer, Sketzer, Vetzer. You got all these different names of these companies producing this vaccine, but it's all, it's no different than going to Walmart or Target. They're owned by the same one person. So, don't be confused by the confusion within the confusion. You get it? Don't get confused by the confusion of the confusion within confusion. So, let's pause right there, okay, with Bill Gates. Because you can look up these things. All you got to do is look up Bill Gates, works in Africa, and read a little bit. If you start to read a little bit, things will come clear. If you read the book, The Destruction of a Black Civilization, things become really crystal. When you get to open your mind up to newer things, because it's easy to be boxed in. But don't let me rattle. I'll rattle and go somewhere else. So then let's talk. I would like to talk to. So we talked about Bill Gates first. Now I would like to talk about Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci. Now I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, follow me. Now Dr. Fauci has been the United States leading top health professional guru of medicines and science, or whatever, in all things, forever for the United States, okay? No matter who's in the presidency. Since Reagan he was in there. But, Obama, Bill, Bush, it don't matter. Dr. Fauci has held that seat. Excuse me. Dr. Fauci has been in that seat for over 60 years, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what are you saying, Fellagood? I'm saying this. If you haven't been paying attention to past Goody and Big episodes, where we talk about Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci has told people, this vaccine can do this vaccine can do that. Trump, when the vaccine first hit, don't close the border. Dr. Fauci says he advises against closing the borders. Trump closed the borders. I'm not for Trump, just stating facts. Fuck all of them, right? Dr. Fauci says this. Dr. Fauci says don't worry about the vaccine. The vaccine's safe. Black people help create it. The black community doesn't have to worry. Dr. Fauci has been the comfortability factor for America for over 60 years, is what I'm saying. Bill Gates has been around and is very tight with a lot of these people, including Dr. Fauci and other government and powerful people for over 60 years. I'm 38. Now I want to talk about our new president, Joe Biden. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Joe Biden, and I said this before, one of his first things he said he wanted to do, this is before he actually, when he was president-elect, he said he wanted to reinstate who? The World Health Organization. Now, I'm not asking you who, that's the name of them. Who? He wanted to reinstate the World Health Organization, but his first day in office, he signed a bunch of executive orders, but the first thing he did was send troops into Syria. Well, why are they sending troops into Syria? Well, I don't know. Maybe you should check it out yourself and you'll find out, because I can't tell you every goddamn thing. Right? But we do have more troops in Syria. I'm sure we already had them there. There's always something afoot. Like I said before, if they do all of this, what we've been witnessing in the last year, in the last 6 months, in the last 9 months, if they do all this in front of you, what do you think they're doing behind the curtains? So, you have Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, and Joe Biden. Just those three. Fuck it. Throw Trump in there too. Those 4 people alone. I can mention others, because there's so damn near the whole team been around for 60 years running this thing. You hear me? Now, mind you, they don't run it. They delegate. There's others that dictate, and I've proved the dictation. I've proved the dictation of these people behind the curtains operating because the president got censored. Now, I don't give a fuck what you say. Ain't nobody supposed to be able to censor the king or the president of the world. So that's a clear indication that there's someone else in control. But never mind that. Over 60 years, Bill Gates, Dr. Fauci, and Joe Biden have been around. In some way, shape, or form, maneuvering through and embedding in the system, and for the lack of better term, cultivating or curving decisions and curving pretty much the way our world is shaping or has shaped. And it's just not them. Don't get me twisted, but it's important, these three guys, because between these three guys, you have a lot of fuckery. Everybody, I know, a lot of people love Biden. They love Kamala Harris. They love what the idea of what they think this world should be. Those people present that non-tangible item, which you'll never see necessarily. I don't feel you'll see it because Joe Biden been in office for so long. He's done a lot. He's done a lot of wrong while he's been in office, and now he's president. So, pardon me or forgive me if I don't want to just jump off the ship now, or like we've all been saved now. I'm sorry. That's not the case. Now, show me wrong. Oh, but you're getting real student debt. Okay. Oh, that sounds good. But I'll let you know when it happens because I owe some money. So I'll let you know if you really do it. Okay? I'll let you know that. But my point is, you got these three people who in numerous of situations have curved and shifted our world, assisted in that for sure. And Dr. Fauci cold because he's supposed to be the top gun. How are we still dealing with this situation like it's a real problem? But what nobody wants to talk about is human trafficking. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to fucking talk about it because I'm a little disturbed. Fuck a little. I'm irate at the fact that human trafficking, organ harvesting, little girls going missing, little kids going missing, Epstein, Maxwell, all the shit that happened, all the shit that's continuing to happen. The boy getting caught that I found in Kentucky, I believe. I've talked about this in the past, previous episodes. He found in the gym mat all his organs harvested and replaced with tissue, newspaper. Like, all this shit is real, but every day you want me to believe that COVID is why we're where we are. Let me ask y'all a question. You at home. Do you believe that? COVID is on a rise. It's killing so many people. It's the numbers are just astronomical. Every day there's a new toll and death. But nobody, and I mean not nobody, is talking about human trafficking. Nobody's dealing with that. I find that quite scary. So, you mean to tell me that fear has taken over everything, really? Because fear, and shouts out to the motivation conversation. Fear, and I wrote this down because it was cold. It's broke down. How do you allow fear to put us in this spot where we can't, we'll just settle and just take whatever the fuck they tell us because that's all we've been doing. Fear. False evidence appearing real. Shouts out to the Motivation Conversation. My guy Eric Harris, he doing his thing over there. False evidence appearing real. Fear. And that's all this shit has been. False shit appearing real to you. I'm just trying to see if y'all get what I'm putting down here. I mean, I put this down quite often, like every show. But if not ever, if you've never caught it, I hope you're catching it now. There are people going missing every day, people being murdered, sold into sex trafficking rings, human trafficking. They go through the ringer, and then when at the end of the ringer, when it's all said and done, then they take their fucking organs. These aren't fairy tales. These aren't conspiracy. This shit happens. And it's been happening for a very long time. Why? Because we so caught in a bliss. We so caught in a bliss, we don't even want to pay attention or even acknowledge the shit. Motherfuckers just be happy with just getting by. I watch Queen of South on Netflix. And I'm going to dig into this later, but there's a scene when she's in Louisiana, one of her partners, the black dude, I forget his name, but he goes to go see his dad. And he tells his dad, we're going to overthrow this king, this dude that's been running us for generations. And his dad tells him, fool, you be best to stay in your place. Them people always been running shit. So he pretty much telling his son to stand down and just go along. And that's the problem we have. We've always been content and happy and cool with just going along. Don't bother, don't shake the tree. It has gotten you absolutely nowhere. I'm done with that shit. I've been done with it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I've been done with just going along. Autopilot. Cruise control. Yeah, okay. Anything you tell, peeing, hey, you peeing on the roof, it's raining. Nobody do that. No, I'm done with it. Human trafficking's at an all-time high. Abortion is at an all-time high. Planned Parenthood is just the opposite of its name, and the founder of it is even more wicked. You have a thing, let me back this up before I talk about Planned Parenthood. There's a thing called 1000pieces.com, and I seen this on a clip I was watching on, it came up as an advertisement. 1000pieces.com. They're supposed to be doing a documentary about the very things that we're talking about today, right now in this show. All the hidden secrets, CIA, this and that. And one would ask, if these people own the world, why would they be throwing this stuff in your face? Because this is a good, fun, you might like to play the video game. One person might like to watch football. You might like to watch basketball, boxing. You might want to see gladiators. You might like to hunt. Whatever's your thing is your thing. And so it's very possible for someone's thing to fuck you over in your face continuously and then tell you I did it without telling you I did it. I mean, it's sick, but if it was my thing, it'd be quite fun. These motherfuckers are running amok and been having fun for a very long time. And all through last year, going through this bullshit, right? Didn't nobody want to talk about no 5G and the rollout of 5G. I talked about it, though. I've been talking about it. And it came. I talked about it before it came, when it came, and now it's here. But when they rolled out 5G, you had this COVID shit distracting everything, amongst a lot of other things, like they always do. Like a magician's best secret or best weapon is distraction, because he can pull something right in front of you, because you over here, he right here with it. So they rolled out 5G right under our nose, and just smoothed it on in. But that goes in with, so, I got a thing called problem solution resolution. It's a PSR, and in that PSR, it goes in order of things that were to come. And I wrote this down before it happened, and all these things, and I'm just tracking these things. And along that is I call it Skynet, 5G Skynet. Skynet comes from Terminator. In Terminator, that they had artificial intelligence taking over. That's what the Terminator was. He was AI, and AI took over and all that shit. But he was somehow unplugged and helped Sarah Connors or whatever. But Skynet was artificial intelligence that took over the world. And so I call 5G Skynet, and they rolled that out. So now it's there. It's in place now. Trust that. So then when you come in with these, not 1 dose or 2 dose, but now maybe like you might have to take fucking 10 shots when these bitches get done. Talking about now we got a different strand of the virus, so the 2 shots you took, you got to take 2 more. Oh, now you got to take 4 more. So now through these shots comes that chip, whether you know it or not. And all you need is them 5G towers to activate the chip. And then it'll be in your shit. Hey, call me what you want to, but it's coming. Everything's playing out. Everything's going accordingly. Everything's going accordingly. You know why? Because we're going accordingly. So you'll have no privacy. It's already a problem with being censored everywhere. And being censored here, being censored there, you ain't got no freedom of speech no more. You can't say nothing. You can post some shit that somebody else posted, and then nothing happens, and then you say the same thing that you just posted, and they flag you, block you, censor you. They censored the president. So you have no freedom of speech, and once you have this, once they get this chip in our ass, you'll have no freedom of thought. You'll have no privacy at all. You'll have no freedom of anything. It'll be the last thing you have. Yeah. So check out A Thousand Pieces documentary and thousandpieces.com. I'll put a link in the description. So back to Planned Parenthood. When you talk about them, let's just keep it quite simple. When you abort a fetus, and wait, we don't even have to talk about abortion. We won't even do that. This is my disclaimer. I'm not for abortion nor against anything. I'm just stating some things that I've come across in my research that I find to be true or questionable. When you have a kid, I have kids. I've had 2 kids. At each birth, I witnessed them keep the fetus, keep whatever, the leftovers, the embryo sac, whatever, all that stuff that they say you're supposed to keep. There's still brain food, if you will. I'm not using the correct terms at this point, but you know what I'm saying. There's things in that sac and all that that's very valuable to the baby, especially in his first hour or 2 connected from the mom or some shit. But no one asks what they do with that stuff. You think they just throw it away. But they don't just throw it away, because that stuff can be used for, there's scientists that can use this stuff that you would just throw away and disregard without any thought. They use it for testing and cell reproduction and cell manipulation and genetic scientific shit, So that's just regular, you have your baby and everything's good, the baby's healthy, they take all the other stuff and you don't know what they do with that. That's one thing. Well, in Planned Parenthood, when they do get an abortion, the same thing. You don't know what they're doing with that fetus. They might have took the fetus out of some girl, some woman, took the thing out of her, and now she's not pregnant no more. She leave, and they done goddamn still got the baby alive in some kind of harvesting fucking NICU like unit deal, and they end up growing a baby, and now nobody knows the fucking baby exists, and they can do experiments and shit Far-fetched, I know it sounds like it, doesn't it? So, gene duplication is real. And if you don't think so, cell duplication and all that stuff, scientists are doing that. But besides scientists, there's people in the world that pay for these things, and that's why you have so many women, in particular black women, being coming up missing, because they do have, black people in general have stronger genes, and it's scientifically proven that we have just our DNAs contain different parts, more aggressive genetics. Make a long story short, we're at the top of the food chain. That's why we go missing so much, and especially black women and little black girls. And that's why men, when they start dabbling in men having babies, or one of those things that helped that break through was someone else's downfall or despair. So, there's a movie I watch. Oh, before that, Fellagood Podcast brought to you by Goodfellas LLC. Like I said, you already know what it is and how I give it up. On this channel, all we do is go in. And I goes in. I've been going in for some time now. If you sleep on me, go back to Goody in bed. And just in case you're confused, I am Goody. But now it's Fellagood. Just to make sure we're on the same page. Check out Goodfellas Gaming. TTV Jalen, my boy. Check out the Mike Podcast. You know that. And again, check out on Facebook the club, the podcast Clubhouse. So on Netflix, there's a movie I've been watching. Again, shouts out to Eric Harris, a.k.a. Hypnobud from the Motivational Conversation. Go check them out. He said, fella, man, you gotta watch Black Mirror. Now, he know how I give it up already. He know how I goes in, how we going in today. So, he been knowing me for a long time. So when he told me to go watch Black Mirror, he already knew. Black Mirror, I suggest you go watch Black Mirror. To give it to you in short, it's about 5 seasons, probably like 20 episodes or whatever. And each episode is different. It's like the Twilight Zone. It's literally the new Twilight Zone. But it's all dealing with technology in one way, shape, or form. Go check it out. That's all I'm going to say about that. With artificial intelligence being talked about, being chipped and all that, there will be no freedoms left. We already have lost most of the freedoms. And for me, let's be honest, a lot of people who look like me never had any freedoms because we weren't part of the party. And a lot of people don't understand that a lot of us aren't part of the party. We're not invited. We can't get in. So, nor do I want to get in. I just want to be left the fuck alone and do me. So, a man, I forgot where he was, but I'll post it when I find it. But a man had went to a hospital that was designated a COVID, hotspot to go. Like it was set up for COVID. He went to the hospital, it was locked down, couldn't get in, nobody was there, it was Ghost City. Couple cars there. One of them was Grubhub bringing somebody maybe like security food. For me, when I see that, I'm like, yeah, because I've been to the hospital a bunch of times here in Minnesota and I've seen same or similar. Same or similar. Hospital's empty. So, I also want to touch on St. Paul news from Minnesota. St. Paul struggles to grasp with the third death in the encampment, the homeless encampments, around St. Paul and stuff. There's been a third death. But, I'm not trying to say that's funny because they don't ever talk about more homeless people have died that died just last year, more than 3 homeless people have died. So I'm just wondering why the fuckery. That's my point. You know me. I'm an asshole. I'm going to be an asshole if I got to be direct. Why the fuck you want to talk about a third death in the encampment of these people that are homeless, but more homeless people died last year here in Minnesota than 3? Fuck out of here, bitch. That's all I got to say that. Kind of made me mad. I talked about Epstein earlier. And so then we go right back into human trafficking. We go right back into human trafficking. You know, if you thought I was bullshitting, you go right back into human trafficking. Oh, fella good. Epstein dead. He hung himself in the jail. Maxwell and Fellagood, they got her. They got Maxwell. They got her. She in jail. But nobody talked about the fire or whatever that broke out and the motherfucker and they had to move her or what? What happened? Is she still in there? I mean, nobody talks about these things. Nobody talks about these things. These things aren't talked about. These things aren't talked about. Something that is talked about, there was a massive fire in India at a facility. Actually, massive fire at the world's largest COVID vaccine facility in India. Do you care about that? Some kind of fire, random fire, I don't know. But largest facility in the whole world for the production of this vaccine that Joe Biden's looking to push out. At least in his first 100 days, he has an initiative to push out 100 million vaccines in his first 100 days. And then this fire happens. I don't know. Conspiracy? Coincidence? Out of the blue? Oh, man. Excuse me. Shit. Episode 29, man. You know what it is. Your boy Fellagood. Where do we go from here? Please, you at home, I'm asking you. Where do we go from here? How do you feel about the things you've heard today? Do you think they are true, somewhat true? Do you plan on looking into these things that I'm talking about? Would you like to converse? How about you comment down in the box down below? I'll tap in with you. Send me an email at fellagoodpodcast@yahoo.com. I'm definitely, I ain't doing this just to talk. You know what I mean? I'm doing this to open up the space for the dialogue. Because even if you don't agree with what I'm talking about, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. But you must agree, out of all the things we talked about today, there's definitely some fuckery. There's a lot of fuckery afloat. There's a lot of fuckery afloat. But you know me, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I just want to come in real quick. I'm different. I don't want to do too much. But I want to just do enough to let you know that there's some bullshit going on, and I'm going to keep going hard in the paint. But besides that, my mission is to unplug you from that bullshit. I want you to know, like I always do, is that you are great. You must take care of you, your star player, because if you're happy, healthy, anyone that you touch, you can share that happiness and healthy lifestyle and energy and positive vibes. But besides that, you are your superhero. You, at home, yes, you can do anything you want to do. You can do anything you want to do, anything you put your mind to, just do it. That's all. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, man. Get away from people who don't mean you no good. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect people to see your vision because it's your vision. Just make your vision what you want it to be. Make this world what you want it to be. Because everybody else doing what the fuck they want to do. And you can do it too. Believe in you, because I believe in you. Because I definitely believe in me. Know that. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all time. Thank you for tapping in. I know you can't get that time back, but trust me, it was well spent. You came here to Fellagood Podcast, where I keep it 100 all the time. And I always promote going within yourself and not within anything else. And with that being said, thank you. Thank you for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here right here at the Fellagood Podcast, brought to you by Goodfellas LLC. Check me out on YouTube. You already know, Facebook, all that. TikTok, we out here getting it, and we're going to keep getting it. Episode 29 is in the wraps. Where do we go from here? Shit, we keep elevating. That's what we do. We elevate and we keep ascending towards greatness until you unlock your true potential and be whatever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. I appreciate y'all again, man. I love y'all. And like always, until next time. Oh, wait. Fella fact. I got a fella fact. Gotta hit you. You got cancer, leukemia, heart attacks. Nobody dying from that anymore. Those things are cured or non-existent because COVID-19 has claimed all the lives of last year and now. That's all I got for you. And with that, I'm out. Peace.